All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Controlled Chaos. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
Doing good, guys. So talk to us a little bit more about your pro wrestling journey, kind of how you guys got into it, and what's maybe next for you guys in the future here.
Well, he was wrestling years ago when he was younger, and then I grew up with wrestling and loving wrestling, and I wanted to wrestle. So a year ago, he went that, and I went with him, and we started wrestling, and yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. Keeping us very busy, but it's been great.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
started when I was younger, so it was about 18 years old. I started in Phoenixville, wrestled for a little while, took a little time off, karate. So that's where we met, right? So had the karate school, had to put all the time into that, which was amazing. But now I had the opportunity to go back. Monster Factory is an awesome place to train, awesome place to wrestle. So brought Jay over there. There's a lot of great people there. It's been a lot of fun. Like Jay said, it's time consuming. But I mean, when you want to be good at something or you just want to enjoy something, you got to put the time into it. So, like you said earlier when we were talking, no complaints over here. It's all great. So,
yeah, yeah. No, that's definitely important. No doubt about it. Now, talk to us a little bit more about your goals with 2025 of wrestling.
So basically, 2024 was just Jay getting started. So he actually started wrestling in September. So we started training, or he started training in January. I went back to some shows, I think around June. He started in September. So that's when we started tag teaming. And it was basically just Monster Factory shows, which was awesome. I have a friend that runs a company called DCW, Dynamite Championship Wrestling. That's in Delaware. So we added that to the schedule. And I think this year we're just trying to add a couple more of the independent companies to the schedule. Stay busy. I mean, not crazy busy, but if there's 4 weekends in the month, it would be pretty cool to get maybe 4 shows in, and the TRLs at Monster Factory. We have basically the Monster Factory shows are every single week on Fridays. So just stay busy, not too busy. You get more reps in, get in front of different crowds, which is awesome instead of just the same crowd all the time. And just have fun with it. And you're working with different people that way. So it's comfortable working with people that you train with. And it's a little bit more uncomfortable working with other people. You don't know how their styles are yet, and how they work in the ring. So it's just really cool to get in there and just, get going with a lot of different people and wrestle a lot of different places. So for me, that's 2025.
Yeah, basically the same for me. I would like to get out there, grow our name a little bit, experience with different companies, different people, and of course collect as many tag team titles as possible. That'd be cool too.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But maybe not 2025. Maybe that comes later. Who knows?
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds cool, no doubt about it. Now, with your training, talk to us a little bit more about the kind of behind the scenes. What kind of goes down with your training? How you guys kind of get prepared for your matches?
So for actual training, every night training is different. We always start with like probably a half hour of warm ups, rolls, warm ups, squats, push ups, sit ups, and then we get into training. Some nights we'll do promos, some nights we'll drill, some nights we'll do practice matches when they watch you and they critique your matches. And then as we get it ready for matches, what we do, normally you just kind of go in, hang out while the bookers put the card together. Then we'll have a meeting, they'll tell you the matches, and then, you just put on your gear, stretch, talk about your matches, get ready, and then you go out and you do it.
It's not that much different than demo team, like with karate. I mean, it is different, but in a way, putting things together, like with karate demos, we would structure them, right? Like you'd have like a beginning, you'd have an open form that everybody kind of does together. Then, if we have our little groups, maybe the bad guy takes over the demo for a little while, good guys make a little comeback, and then you kind of finish together. It's kind of the same concept. I mean, but it's just 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or whatnot when it comes to putting matches together. The training is great. It's, again, since we've been doing martial arts for so long, and that's what we have in common. Martial arts training is tough, getting ready for a black belt test. It really depends on how much you want to push yourself, right? And it's kind of the same thing with wrestling training. So we do start off with the body weight exercises. We should be getting in the gym, making sure your core is strong and your muscles are strong. And then there's a lot of different drills. Everything has to be done properly, because an inch off You know what I mean? When you're taking a slam, or maybe you don't protect your opponent or partner, because we're really all partners in the ring anyway. We're kind of dancing together. It could be bad. It could be really bad. So it's really important that everybody's on top of their training. And again, I'll always put it back to karate. I'm going to stop saying it because now you'll know what I'm saying when I'm talking. But the amount of hard work you put in is how good you're going to be. Cardio has to be up. It's one of those things that people don't really realize, even in just wrestling in general. Even if you're not running the ropes really fast or jumping off the top rope really fast, just being in the ring, having to act, having to show emotion with your face and with your body expressions, it takes a lot out of you. I mean, it could be a 4-minute match and you could be 2 minutes in and you could be blown, like completely out of breath, and you have to somehow get yourself back on track. So the training is like top of the list. It's extremely important.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems extremely important. No doubt about it. Now, when it comes to wrestling all these different people that you have to wrestle, I mean, what kind of makes someone like a good in-ring partner, if that kind of makes sense when it comes to wrestling somebody?
It does 100% make sense. I think one of the top things would be the fundamentals of just wrestling in general. Being a good base for someone, being able to, like I said, protect someone. So like if you're going to give them a body slam, for instance, I mean, it's not that far off, a couple inches, to drop somebody on their head or on the wrong part of their back, or, upper shoulders around their neck. So protecting your partner, I've always thought, even when it came to karate demos, that was number one. So like if you were catching somebody for a Hurricanrana, where they jump up, I mean, but for other people, when they jump up, wrap their legs around your head and spin, you take a little front flip at the end of it. If you're not a good base, that person is trusting you so they can do their move. Everything has to work together. It's a 50-50. So that's one of the most important things. And then the other thing is just being open, because we might have an idea for a match that we want to run, but then they have an idea for the match they want to run. And sometimes we'll go with what they want. Sometimes we'll go with what we want. And sometimes, more than likely, you go in the middle. You compromise, So if like I'm the good guy or Jay's the good guy, we get what's called the shine. That's our part. We could do what we want to do. And then the bad guy gets what's called the heat. They can put on whatever moves they want to. And if Jay's not comfortable because he's newer, or even if I'm not comfortable, taking like a, double, triple front flipping pile driver on the top of your head, you just tell the person, sounds like a cool move, but I don't think I'm ready to take that just yet. So the back and forth is really important. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I agree. I think the most, obviously, the basics, so that everybody's safe. But for me, I would say that the same thing of people just being easygoing. Everybody, us included, is you want everybody to be happy with the match. You want to find a middle ground. And nobody we've dealt with has not been like that. Everybody we've worked with has been awesome to work with. So we don't have any bad experiences with anybody. But that would be my main thing, is just people being easy to work with, going with the flow, finding that middle ground, and that includes us as well.
Yeah.
The final project is together. You know what I mean? So it's like not like what we want or what they want. It really is 50-50 for sure.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That definitely makes a lot of sense for sure. Now, obviously, like I was saying, I was watching a lot of your guys' highlights. Your matches are a lot of fun for sure. Now, I was watching Jay taking a lot of big suplexes. I saw Papa Juice. You were also taking a little Spanish fly as well too off the top rope. But when it comes to the in ring, I mean, what was maybe the move that maybe hurt you guys the most when you were in there wrestling?
You want me to take it first? Okay. Everything hurts now. So,
yeah.
It's funny because when I started, when I was 18, I obviously didn't have any no's in my vocabulary. So, take a pile driver. Okay. Get thrown over the top rope with a power bomb. Okay. You can go through a table. Okay, cool. Whatever. I didn't care. I mean, I still kind of don't care, but then in the back of my head, I have to remember that, I have to teach karate tomorrow. Walking is important. Other things like that are really important to me, things that we take for granted, because I'm 39 now. I'm not 18 anymore. But recently, within the past couple months, it was last year, maybe 7 months ago, 6 months ago, I was just doing a springboard, where you jump up to the top rope one shot, and then jumping to the outside of the ring on a huge crash mat. Like it's not like I was being crazy and jumping to the floor. It was on a huge crash mat. My footing was a little bit off, just a tiny bit. So it was basically, I'm going to fall backwards into the ring, or I have to complete the jump. And that's what I did. I completed the jump, and I was going to go for what's called an elbow drop, so you land more on your side, but I landed completely on my butt, which is like a leg drop, right? But everybody knows when you take a leg drop, I mean, you're going to feel it in your back. And I felt it a lot. So I had to go to the ER. Everything was overall fine. But it took me out of action for a little while. So now every time I get slammed on my back, and I don't know when, and I don't know what slam it's going to be, every now and again I'll get like a pretty good pain in my back. It goes away really quickly, but it's just that's always in the back of my head. And then like last week I took a choke slam and hurt my elbow. And then the other day, I guess I was delivering a frog splash off the top rope, and I guess I hurt my knee because I was taking off my gear at the end of the night, and I was like, wow, my knee's swollen. I don't know why it's swollen, but it's swollen. But I had training, in 2 days. I can't skip training. So the knee's feeling fine today. But yeah, it's really, really crazy. You know what it is too? It's like you can understand it, but even like with karate, you can understand it, but then you do it and then you really get it. Like wrestling looks fake. It's choreographed. But jumping off the top rope and putting your body in that kind of position is not really like the pain isn't fake. I know that for sure. So,
yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. No doubt about it. What
how
about you?
How about you?
I don't think I think I've been lucky enough to not have one move that actually I remember like hurting me. But I will say, funny enough, I think out of all the moves, the basics are probably the ones that hurt the most. Because everything else, you don't even think about. You just doing them. When you take body slams and suplexes, like I feel those the most. Not that they like hurt, but it's just interesting how I feel those moves the most, more than the bigger moves. If you just don't think about the bigger moves, you just go out and do them in a good way, of course. Not think about them in a bad way, but
It's like with everything else. It's like when I hurt my ankle initially in karate, it was a jumping jack. I hurt my ankle on a jumping jack. It's the craziest stuff. Like some people might get hurt exiting the ring. You just things you don't think about. Your ankle twists a little bit. Like just the other day in a bigger promotion, someone jumped into the ring and their ankle turned sideways. I mean, and the guy that did it, I mean, he can do everything. He's amazing, but his ankle was in the wrong position on jumping over the top rope and a little twist. I mean, he still had his match and all that stuff, but you just never know.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right there. No doubt about it. You definitely see a lot of crazy injuries when it comes to these matches. And, another thing I was curious about as well, too, obviously you guys have been improving with it, no doubt. But your first ever promo, what was that kind of like? Talk to us a bit more about the memories with that.
My first ever promo was a long time ago. So when I first started, I didn't have anything in my mind as far as like, I'm not good enough. I don't have confidence. I had none of that in my mind. Like from the beginning, it was like too much of not in a bad way, but I had a little bit of ego, I guess I would say. And I also didn't care about what anybody thought. So I'm guessing my first promo was awful, but I'm also guessing that I think my first promo was good, if you know what I mean. Like probably when I was done, I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And everybody's probably like, wow, this guy sucks so much. Nowadays it's a lot better, but you know what's weird? It's still nerve-wracking for some people. Like we were just doing promo class the other day, and some of these guys are amazing, really good at promos, and they're up in front of the class and they're showing that they're handshaking. It's just a public speaking thing, and you can go over it in your mind a million times, like what you want to say. You know what I mean? Like coming straight out of the Red Dragon Dojo. It's Papa Juice. It's Kid Chaos. We are Controlled Chaos. And this Saturday, live at the Monster Factory. You know what I mean? Like you can have taglines, and then you get up in front of everybody and you're like, we're going to do this thing Saturday. It's going to be really cool. You know what I mean? So it can be tough sometimes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what my first promo was. But I will say, how did it go off what he said? For me, at least, it's easier to do a promo in front of a crowd than it is in front of people I know. It's just a weird thing. I'm not there in front of a crowd. I'm in the zone. I don't overthink promos. I enjoy promos. But I don't like doing promos in front of the people I know. It's just nerve-wracking. I don't know why. Again, as for my first promo, I don't remember which one it was. But I never had, all my promos felt, hey, for me. It's just talking in front of the people that I know is what gets me more nervous than being out there in front of a crowd.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I definitely am the same way when it comes to like teaching martial arts and whatnot. If certain people are watching me that I know, I definitely feel like the pressure's on a little bit more. So I hear what you guys are saying for sure. Now, another thing I was curious about, the big thing that just happened that everyone's talking about, John Cena, he turned heel. What's your guys' reaction to it?
It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
You didn't know it was coming. I mean, he's on his farewell tour, basically. I mean, we don't know anybody there at all. So when we say things, it's just from a fan's perspective, just like everybody else. I mean, we met John Cena once and got a photo with him. So, right, we're like best buds now. But no, so basically he said he's retiring this year. And as far as I'm concerned, if John Cena said he's retiring, I think he's going to be one of the only dudes that he does what he says. He's going to retire for real. So he's not going to come back to the ring. And if he does, he'll do a promo or something like that. But he's not going to like get into physical altercations or have matches. I don't think he's going to do that anymore. I think he's going to stick to his guns. So with it being the last year of, Super Cena, big time Cena, the guy that does all the Make-A-Wishes and all that stuff, and for him to turn heel last year, I mean, it just shows you we're like overjoyed with what Triple H is doing in general with WWE, like as far as entertainment goes. Like it's anything, anyone could sign, anyone could get, taken to the next level. You know what I mean? He kind of goes with what the fans want. So to throw such a swerve at everybody, I mean, we're watching the chamber, and then when it happened, we're like, oh my gosh, a lot of bad words getting thrown around like everybody else probably, but in the best of ways. It's like John Cena sold that facial expression of being heel so great. He like went from super happy Cena to like, I have nothing left emotion wise. Like I'm the Rock's dude now. Like did you watch it? Because it was really cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw it. No, it was awesome. It was really, it was insane. I couldn't believe it actually happened.
Most views, I think ever. I don't know statistically, but I mean, The Rock and John Cena, I mean, they always go back to old timers, I guess they say. I'm not trying to be mean, but people that have already had their time in the spotlight. But when they do it right, man, it doesn't matter. It's just everybody's interested. They really did a good job with it, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And John Cena is like my childhood hero. So he turned heel last Saturday. I turned heel with him. He's still my guy. So I'm still rooting for Cena, whether he's heel or face.
Yeah, and he was just on the Cody bandwagon forever. I'm over here crying because Roman lost both belts.
I love
Roman. Roman was the man. Roman was WWE double belt Roman, and I don't see him with belts anymore, and it makes me so sad. So it's not okay.
So what's up with Cody as well too, cursing at The Rock, and they didn't bleep it. What was up with that?
Well, I know on Netflix they can curse now. On Peacock, they normally still bleep it, but I guess they got away with it this time.
No, I think it's just that Triple H knows where this is going.
Okay.
It's almost like Attitude Era type of stuff.
Okay.
And they can do things like that now. So they're still PG. I mean, but if you think about it, like we're teaching karate, right?
Yeah.
And we're watching forms, and I hear some little kid next to me say a bad word that they don't think Master P heard them say. And they're a little kid. They're like 8 years old, and they're over here dropping some bombs, if you know what I mean. And it's like everyone says it. Everyone knows it. I mean, you don't want to be around it for kids. Kids should not be saying those words. But at the end of it all, I mean, Cody Rhodes says the F word. Mom and dad are saying the F word, in the other room every day. You know what I mean? So in that way, it's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. But I think it just adds to everything. Like you've never heard it on live WWE ever. And then all of a sudden, you want to do the biggest heel turn in history. You want to have The Rock. You want to have John Cena. You want to have that other guy that was standing in the corner. You want to have Cody, and you want to have Cody be the face of faces. So it's just like, look, you want my soul. You want me to be a bad guy? Well, F you, because I'm here for the crowd. So I thought it was just like, it was amazing. It was perfectly placed, I think.
Yeah, we popped for that one.
Big time, because you didn't see it coming. So like if you weren't watching TV, because it's like, oh, Cody and John Cena, I don't care. And you heard the F word, you're like, what? Like everybody's attention goes back to that screen.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a pretty crazy situation, no doubt about it. Now, when it comes to wrestling, who are maybe some of your favorite wrestlers to kind of watch at the moment?
At the moment,
yeah.
Oh, I have one that he's gonna hate.
You guys.
I'll go first on that.
Go ahead.
One of my favorites to watch is CM Punk, and he is not a massive CM Punk fan. I like CM Punk. I like his promos. I just like the aura that he has. That's what I like to say. I'm also saying that partly just to mess with him. You know, he's a big Seth Rollins fan, and he doesn't like when Seth Rollins loses, and CM Punk beats Seth Rollins. So, right.
Well, you can watch Seth Rollins, and you can take a lot of physical, like the way he wrestles in the ring, the way he moves in the ring. He's just so athletic. He's just like, and he puts everything on the line all the time, and he has for years and years and years in the WWE. So, and I've been watching. That's my main place to watch is WWE because of the storylines and because of the connection of years of watching it. So when you got somebody like Seth that's put his body on the line and everything for the WWE for so long, of course, he's going to be my guy. And CM Punk, I mean, we're on a thing, so I'm not going to say anything mean or whatever. At the end of it all, I mean, there's not a lot of people that get the crowd. There's not maybe anyone that's gotten the crowd in the palm of their hand like CM Punk has, besides like a Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Like you try to turn Stone Cold heel, and it's not happening because Stone Cold is one of the coolest of all time. Maybe the coolest, maybe the absolute coolest. But CM Punk, he has that, which is cool. But when you talk about like watching, like I'm listening to promos and stuff like that. If you're talking about interviews and promos, I'm a big Kevin Owens guy because Kevin Owens talks. Kevin Owens doesn't this Saturday night I'm going to. Kevin Owens talks. Like he talks, but he promos at the same time. He's just a really, really good talker. I think he's awesome. Like we're a really cool guy to watch. And then when it comes to in-ring, I'm more focused on the tag team stuff at the moment. So, I mean, I just watch wrestling as a fan. And we talk about this all the time at wrestling practice, right? So you watch wrestling as a fan, and then you also watch wrestling as a person who is wrestling, trying to learn. But it's really hard to do the difference. So like I'll watch wrestling to study it, and then halfway through the match, I'm a fan again. And I'm like, oh crap, I was supposed to be taking notes on this and trying to learn, but I can't because I'm just engrossed in the entertainment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
But Motor City Machine Guns are like a really, really good tag team, and they just came to the WWE. And on that SmackDown side, I mean, SmackDown's a little harder to watch because it doesn't stream on Netflix, and we don't have cable anymore. Just recently, actually, which is weird. Everybody else hasn't had cable forever. But I will go back and I'll watch Motor City Machine Guns and the stuff that the rest of the tag team division is doing over there on SmackDown.
Yeah,
because they're really putting some cool things together. It's almost like they're really putting a refreshed I don't know, stamp on their tag team division, at least on SmackDown.
And there's NXT and Action and Nathan Fraser.
They're really good. They're really good.
The tag team.
NXT has a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, even just last night, I was watching Raw. It was Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Io Sky is, I mean, she's awesome. The stuff that she can do. Rhea Ripley's really great too, but together they have awesome matches. So I just had it on and I was like, okay, cool, wrestling's on. And then before you knew it, I was in the match. I was like, wow, this is really, I'm going to watch this now. Like I was really focused on it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome for sure, guys. No doubt about it. Now, another thing I was curious about as well too. Obviously, you guys got a lot of like wrestling memorabilia and whatnot. What's maybe some of your favorite things that you guys might have?
Well, I have a lot of belts. I'm not going to take the laptop and turn it or anything like that, but we got the Brock Lesnar championship. We got the 3 WWE titles. I don't even think they're not current, but they come out with belts all the time to make the cheddar cheese, and they make a lot of cheddar cheese money, make a lot of money. United States Championship, the Rocks titles on the wall, Intercontinental Championship, the NXT title, and then my 3 favorite are ECW because I grew up watching ECW. ECW was my favorite, and I do think ECW has some of the best titles in the history of pro wrestling. So maybe I don't know. It's tough. It's either the tag team championships because of the Dudley Boys, right? Or it's the TV title because of Rob Van Dam. So that would be mine.
And I have the World Heavyweight title in my bedroom. I've had that for years. I think it was a Christmas gift.
It says Jay Vader on it.
Yeah, it's my old name when I was young.
Jay Vader.
It's Darth Vader, Star Wars. Yeah, and that one didn't shit, but
Jay Vader. So now he's Little Juice Box.
That's not true.
Because I'm Papa Juice, and everyone calls him Little Juice Box, and it makes sense. And he drinks juice boxes, so
it's not my name though.
So it's perfect.
Fair enough. No, I think my favorite wrestling memorabilia is probably my WWE ref shirt. I just think it's something not a lot of people have. I just think it's kind of unique. So I think that's kind of my favorite thing. So
who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
My favorite wrestler of all time?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because I mean I have a lot of like favorites, like people that I kind of grew up watching. I would say like my ultimate, I would say like personal like favorite of all time would probably be Batista, just because like I stuck with him the most like since I was younger and everything. So he's probably like I guess my favorite of all time. Not like the greatest wrestler of all time or anything, but my personal favorite to kind of watch. He always got me the most excited at least.
There you go. Yeah, that's a lot of what wrestling is. It's the feeling that you get watching the people or the connection you have, and not necessarily always how good they are in the ring.
Yeah, I would say Batista and probably Rey Mysterio. They're probably my top 1 and 2. Probably
Yeah.
Mysterio with the mask, obviously, and all the high flying stuff he could do. They were definitely my 1 and 2, and no doubt about it.
Well, Rey Mysterio always had an exciting match and
Still
still
does.
does, no
Yeah,
matter
still
what.
does.
He's
Yeah,
one of the
Still
he's the
does.
best luchador of all time. I mean, I don't think there's a
Yeah.
it's the fact. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. No doubt about it. Now, another thing I was curious about as well, too. When it comes to your pro wrestling career, I mean, what's kind of maybe your all-time goals when it comes to like the promotions? Like, what's maybe the next level? Like, you're at the Monster Factory now. Like, what would maybe be like the next step from the Monster Factory?
there's other independents out there. Monster Factory is always going to be the home base. You know what I mean? Monster Factory is a great place. Great students. They put on awesome shows. And it's been around for a long time. It's also produced a lot of top stars like Damian Priest. Matt Riddle came from there. I mean, they have a whole wall. There's a lot of people. And there's a lot of up and coming there that I could see. It's like, a little bit more time into NXT, into AEW, into whatever, could be great on TV. A lot of good stars. But for us, I think you don't want to go too high up on. I mean, no, that's not true. You want to have really high level goals, really high level goals. And then if you fall short, you fall short. I don't like to say them too much out loud because I'm 39. My career's set. I run a karate school. I'm content with that. But I do love wrestling very, very much. It's more for Jay to get somewhere. I think both of us wise, though, if we were thinking high level, like not today, not tomorrow, not next year, but like if we got exactly what we wanted, maybe a trip to the PC, the Performance Center, maybe a little NXT, if not that, maybe something like TNA wrestling, because I've been watching TNA wrestling for a long time. Again, it's not like I'm sitting here saying, yep, we're going to be in TNA, we're going to be in NXT. But if we're just putting our main goals out there into the world, I guess, I mean, anybody would be silly if well, that's not true. I was going to say anybody would be silly if they just said all they wanted to do was wrestle independence. That's not silly at all. Maybe that's the goal. But most people, ground level, you're just staring up at NXT and WWE, I would think. Some people might want to go to AEW, TNA, bigger promotions. So for us, maybe just get to some indies that have big crowds and different crowds, and just kind of go from there,
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, not to dream too big, but the dream goal would be to make it to WWE. But again, that's a very high standard. Just may not be realistic. Maybe it will be one day. I think TNA would be a really cool spot to go to one day. They're not as big, but of course they're still a really good company. They're on TV. So, I think that would be a really cool place to get to. Um, but again, like we said earlier, I guess the goal in mind right now is really just get out there, get to some bigger indie companies, get our name out there. And March Factory is a great home place too, and they've given us so much. So we're content with their, of course, and yeah.
It's kind of like karate. It kind of comes back to karate again, because like when I started teaching, the goal, 300 students, 400 students, have a super school, not just karate, but like have another room on the side that has a pro wrestling ring, have another room that has a kickboxing ring, do some MMA, have a half cage like UFC, have the turf for workouts, have all the weights, you know what I mean? Have a smoothie bar on the other room, like have a super school, right? And now I have a really, really fun, awesome, Red Dragon martial arts. We don't have 200 students, maybe 150, 160, whatever, but it's content. Yeah, I'm content. It pays the bills. I love my student base. So that's like I had that big high goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I fell short of that really big goal, but I'm super happy. So maybe it's the same thing with wrestling, but your goals should be high level goals. It's just how life should be. You should have high level goals. It's okay to be content, but shoot high, fall a little short, and then you're like really happy. because maybe you have more than what you ever thought you would have.
But regardless of where we get to and where we don't, though, just the fact that we get to wrestle those is amazing in itself, and that makes us more than happy, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm only back because of Jay anyway. I wouldn't have gone back. I always loved wrestling, and I guess it would always be in my mind, like, man, I really wish I would have gone back. But because of Jay, I get to go back. Because of Jay, I get to break down my body a little bit more every single day. Because of Jay, it's a little harder to walk every day. Because of Jay, I'm joking, but I'm not. But I am.
He's not.
Because it's really fun. So, I mean, it really, really, really is fun. Sometimes, his mom, my wife, Shelly, she's like, probably like, why are they doing this? It's so crazy. But unless you love wrestling and then have the opportunity to be in the ring, you really don't understand. Like, you can't explain it. You're putting your body on the line for a couple people in the audience. But for me, it's moments, it's memories. It's being able to go back and watch these videos. It's being able to say, hey, I wanted to wrestle with my son and be a tag team, and now we're doing it. I don't care where we go with it. It'll be cool, but it's fun. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. I definitely agree. It's definitely a lot of cool stuff, no doubt about it. And like I mentioned earlier, I definitely enjoyed watching the videos. Now, speaking about cool memories, guys, I mean, what was it kind of like to win the tag team titles?
That was fun. That was a fun night. To be completely honest with you, we didn't know it was going to happen. And to be completely honest with you, I was actually like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. It was because it's weird, right? It's like this, boom, boom, boom. It's like everything else, but sometimes your mindset with wrestling, because we butt heads sometimes. We're not the same people. Obviously, not everyone is. I have expectations because I'm not his partner. I'm not his friend. I'm his dad. I mean, I'm those other things too. But you have a certain way that you look at people and certain things that you want. Like when I'm there training, I'm training. I'm in the ring the whole time. And if practice is over, I don't really want to leave the ring. Sometimes my body hurts, but I'm there to work the whole entire time. He works hard too, but maybe he doesn't work the way I work, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. So we were butting heads a lot. And that's okay. But sometimes in my mind, I'm like, I'm 39, I'm here to have some fun. But at the end of it all, is it worth it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, all right, you're going to have this match and you're going to win the tag titles. And we're like, what? I mean, it's crazy because he had just started wrestling in September. But we have, and it's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing. We have a dynamic. It's father-son. You can, if you're a promoter, if you're a booker, if you're anybody, you could run with that. You could run with brothers being tag team partners. You know what I'm saying? You could run with a boyfriend, girlfriend being together and having a manager or having a tag team. Boyfriend, girlfriend, tag team. You could have a father, son. You know what I mean? You could have a mother, daughter. I mean, there's a dynamic there that's like cool. You could do so many things with it. So we got the opportunity. We had a match with Travis and Mimi. Really great wrestlers. Awesome. Good at all of it because they've been doing it for so long. Really, really big stars in the Monster Factory. Everybody knows them. And we had the opportunity to wrestle them and to actually work a fun match and get the titles from them, which is a really nice moment. And then from there, we've just been doing what we're told. It's fun. You're going to have this storyline. You're going to have this that you have to do. And then we're just putting our effort into it. How can you make it better? How can we make a story out of this match? How can we do a promo? How can we do this? But the actual time winning the tag team championships was unexpected. But it's what got me right. It's like, I might not do wrestling I think we're doing wrestling again. You know what I mean? It was a pretty cool moment. So
yeah, I remember it pretty well. We had an argument on a Sunday night, and then 3 days later, that Wednesday morning, is when we were told we were winning the belts. So it was that weird moment of, like, we're not overly religious, but it's like, oh, hey, maybe that's a sign that for now at least that we're supposed to be doing this together. And now it's cool to feel that. And I'd only been wrestling for like maybe 3 weeks at that point. We found out in the middle of October, and I had my first match in the end of September. So it was pretty big, for me right off the bat. And the night that we won them the whole night was a lot of fun. I think we wrestled 3 times that night. And that was the first night where I really felt like comfortable, and it felt like I was out there having fun with my friends. I wasn't just worried about what was going to happen in the ring. It was more just, hey, go out and have fun. And I did that, and I remember that. I remember the feeling of being in the ring and just having fun. And it's not all a blur. Like, I actually remember the feeling and taking it all in. And that was really cool to feel. And now, like he said, now we're just trying to create good stories, have good matches, and really elevate the tag titles and try and make them mean as much as they can while we have them. That's what it's about. It's about making the belts mean something. It's overall, it helps the tag division and it helps the Monster Factory.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. No doubt about it. And that's definitely a pretty cool story about how you guys won the tag team titles. No doubt about it. And I'm definitely glad you guys have won it and have also defended it as well, too. So, guys, it's been awesome having you guys on the show and especially catching up as well, too. I just wanted to ask, what is maybe your guys' final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Wrestling's cool.
That's it.
You can go.
Yeah.
Wrestling's cool.
Yeah, I guess my final message for anybody is, if you have a dream, just go do it. I have a lot of things against me with my disability and my medical conditions, and for a while I kind of let it stop me, and I was like, maybe I can't wrestle. Then eventually I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and it's turned out pretty amazing so far. And it's probably been the best decision of my life, getting to do something I love with someone I love. And it's just been a great experience. And so that's my message, I guess, for anybody related to anything is, don't be afraid to do something, whether you're different or whether you're not different, because you never know what you might miss out on.
And when it comes to everything else, when it comes to wrestling in general, just fans and stuff, like Jay said, if you want to do it, you got to do it. But we also have to understand, because it's different a little bit now. Every generation is a little different, not good, not bad, just different. You got to put in work. You got to put in a lot of work. If you want to be good, you got to put in work, and you're going to hit a wall every now and again where people think you're not good enough or you don't think you're good enough. And you just got to keep working. You just got to keep putting in the work. And then on top of that, you got to appreciate the fact that you don't get there yourself. So when you have coaches telling you what to do, you listen to what they're saying. It might not fit your attitude. It might not fit the way you want to be seen as a character or as a wrestler or as a person. But you got to listen to those people where you want to go. It's like a ladder. This person's up here. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. I'm going to be coachable. I'm going to try to learn. I'm 39. So anyone older can be like, oh, I know everything. I don't know anything. Tell me what you want to tell me and I'll do it. For the most part, that doesn't include everything people say, but listen to your coaches. And then at the end of the day, appreciate everything. You got there because I didn't get there personally because of myself. I got there because of hard work. I got there because of my coaches, my wife helping me, my friends helping me, my kids backing me up. There's so many people to help you along the way. So just be grateful, be appreciative, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a solid message. No doubt about it, guys. And I just want to say, keep up the hard work with your guys' wrestling journey. And thank you so much for being interested in coming on. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's next, guys.
Well, this Saturday, live at the world famous Monster Factory, we're going to have Turned Up to 11. You're going to have your tag team champs, Controlled Kaos, Papa Juice, and Kid Chaos versus High Fashion. High Fashion earned their spot. They're #1 contenders. We would love to face High Fashion this Saturday at the Monster Factory with our good friend Kevin Cosmal in the audience cheering us on.
I love it. That's an awesome invitation. I'll like I said, I'll have to text Jay and try to get some more information about it. But again, awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It means a lot to me, and thank you so much for everything. I appreciate talking to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us on, man. I appreciate it.
No worries
at all. Doing what you're doing too. You're doing awesome on your end. So keep it. I love seeing what you're doing. Keep it going.